Oh boy, time now for another episode of Mr. Nailsin Sunday Comics. And we are continuing with the original story of the Eternals, courtesy of Jack Kirby, yes. Very different from the film, and by now you've already figured that out, huh? Yeah, of course, unless you weren't one of the very few who actually saw it. You didn't miss anything. When gods walk the earth, the Eternals. Oh, and look who's the main character. Yeah, that's strange. Again, you would have had to have seen that god-awful film to understand that point. But anyway, more fantastic than chariots of the gods. Yeah, that's right. That's the inspiration. That's the idea. This is it. The coming of the Celestials. And here they come, landing right on top of the characters. Oh, no! And running around and everything. Okay, so the Eternals. Witness now what may happen soon. The Celestials. Because, see, that's that's Kirby's rendition of those pictogram deals that are out there. That are they're so large that you have to be really high up, like, I don't know, in a plane to see it. But wait! They didn't have airplanes back then. Or did they? Well, someone did. Yeah, right. So it's the aliens, and this is sort of the runway. So anyway, here's our main cast. Of course, Icarus himself, Margot looking really disgusted at him, and her dad, I forget his name, the professor. And these people are watching the most overwhelming object ever seen in the 20th century. Turn this page and you will see it too. But first, yes, edited, written, and drawn by Jack Kirby. And, well, these guys helped. So there it is. Oh, my God. There's, boy, there's the celestial spaceship. And so anybody who doubted the theory can, well, look at that and think, well, I guess it's all true. But here you see a lot of the stylized business of how Jack Kirby would make his characters and objects appear to be shiny. And you see how he does that with the ink work. And then, of course, the famous Kirby dots. Yeah, which everybody else does. He pretty much created the depiction of like energy and whatnot. And certainly outer space in comic books. That's pretty much all Kirby. Yeah. Anywho, you'd think somebody like that would be respected, but, well, I saw the movie Eternals, and he wasn't. It happens on a broad plateau, high in the Andes Mountains, where ancient markings laid down by a vanished race still beckon to the stars. The answer comes with a mighty crack of cosmic thunder. A giant shadow has leaped the galaxies and appeared in the skies above Earth. Great flashes probe the plain and its silent ruins. A spacecraft of indescribable dimensions descends. The gods have returned. And so there it is. Landing. Let's see here. Icarus. The Inca legends of strange visitations from space have become fact. Well, yeah, but I mean, you knew all along. Anyway.
A ship from the stars. It's enough to leave one breathless.
How right the Incas were. It's a craft fit for gods. Fool! They've been here before. Well, he's got a point. I mean, come on. Get with the program here, Pops. I mean, you've seen all the evidence and whatnot, so this shouldn't be too much of a surprise. And anyway, and in their wake, they've always left destruction. So Crow's not a fan of the gods. So here we were going to skip ahead here, copyright rules and everything. So here he is upset with the Celestials. Suddenly Crow rushes forward. So have the deviants. We haven't spent these past centuries in idle sport. You shall see.
He must be mad to defy the builders of such a ship. It looks like we've stumbled upon an old grudge.
An old scar, Margot. The deviants once challenged the gods and lost. Oh, wow. Didn't see that coming, huh? What were you thinking? I didn't learn anything, did you? Well, yes, we've lost. We lost, and we were driven in shame to the bowels of the earth. But we shall rise again. Well, I mean, look at the size of that ship. Are you sure you want to do this? But our will is strong. Our weapons are mighty. Our victory is sure. Boy, wow. The deviants shall send you back to the stars, broken in defeat and filled with the fear of our pursuit. Hear this and tremble. Well, let's see their response. Whoops, well. I don't know, Crow. I don't know. If there is any sign from the hovering gods, it is the sudden explosive flare-up and energy emission. They're still landing their ship. They're not listening to you. So, fool, to anger the gods is to invite destruction.
That lightning, it's getting worse.
Somebody said Shazam. So they got to go back into the tomb, and everything, and it's all collapsing around. Meanwhile, the tremors grow stronger. The ancient ruin groans and cracks beneath each sonic shock. They mean to destroy us. We'll all die except you, Icarus. An Eternal can't die, but he can stay buried for a long, long time.
The roof, it's...
Your troops await, Great Crow. We can still escape. Our vessel is ready.
Then I'm ready too. We can leave these fools to their fate. Your fate is sealed as well, Crow. The gods will reach you, wherever you flee. Think well upon the gods, Icarus. The Incas worshipped them and vanished. Hey, once again, boy, I bet when Crow makes a point, he makes one, doesn't he? Yeah. Their hero, Tecumotsin, never could get those words right, befriended the gods and vanished. Now you've come here to welcome them, and shall be buried for your pains. So be it. There is risk in solving a mystery. They're like, wait, what? So anyway, Crow hightails it out of there, gets in the ship and leaves and stuff. But you'll have to get your own copy to see all of that stuff. So, Icarus decides, oh, well, let me continue explaining all this. Crow and his jackals are gone. We're fortunate that they had to take their hate with them.
I'm glad. I'd rather die here than join those deviants.
The shock seemed to have... I'm doing Icarus's voice. The shocks seem to have diminished, but we may still be in danger. We humans have a lot of history to catch up with. No doubt the deviants have been part of our legends as demons and devils. But what are the facts? The gods and Eternals know them best. We once made the mistake of leaving the deviants to their own devices. The deviants swarmed across the world with their complex weapons and conquered it. They built towering cities on island continents like Lemuria and ruled as kings. They had aircraft and navies of steel, which scourged the seas and swept them clean of ancient mankind. So that explains a lot of, In time, the deviants brought every human beneath their heel and used man as one would a beast of the field. Thus they lived in luxury and fattened on the earth's bounty. See? Getting fat. And having his Slurpee, Come on, get a move on. Well, anyway, this tyranny continued for centuries, and when the gods appeared in those times, they were met by massive, hostile action. So they're just blasting them with cannons and whatnot. The deviants, ever arrogant and cruel, saw this visitation as a challenge to their worldwide empire. They struck first and failed. The gods struck in turn and succeeded, you don't say, in toppling the deviants with a weapon till then unknown to them. So I guess that's what the bomb being dropped down on them. It was one of its kind, but its terrible power shook the world. Its fires leaped from one continent to another and turned them into blazing suns. So I guess it's supposed to be some sort of nuclear weapon. So there you go. Yeah. Great winds and firestorms leveled the bastions of power. Tidal waves the size of mountains drowned the land and all that lived upon it. Lemuria and its sister continents vanished in that one dark day.
Was it something we said?
There they go. Oh, well, looky here. We turtles on our mountaintops looked down, but could do nothing. However, I myself managed to guide a great wooden vessel to safety when I discovered it carried a cargo of humans and wildlife. Gee, I wonder what this ship could be. I led them to a mountaintop which jutted from the waters and levitated to my distant home. I suppose those humans mistook me for some kind of bird. Huh. Yeah.
You lived at the time of the flood? You saw the Ark?
It's incredible. Eternals, deviants, gods that fly in spaceships is just too much for me, Dad. Too much.
There, my dear. This has been a trying experience. It cannot change. You must accept this calmly. Then, as Icarus surveys the great god chamber, his gaze settles upon an ancient Inca carving.
What are you up to now, Icarus? That's just another Inca god symbol.
Wrong, Doctor. I can read the inscription. That's not a god from space. The Incas called this a resurrection crypt. According to the inscription, it can be triggered to open like this. And so we skip a few pages, I think. But it does open up and, oh, look, it's Selma Hayek. No, it's a little different in the comic book version. There's a moment of stunned silence, an audible intake of breath, a moment when the heart skips a beat, then... To work, unit. Leap to your tasks. We haven't been restored without reason. The gods have returned. By the polar winds do my eyes deceive me? Can it be that a fellow eternal has brought us back to action? Icarus, old friend, even in these Inca trappings you must know me. Well, that's where the remaining Incas disappeared to, apparently, into this chamber with Ajax. And, yeah, this is the character that Salma Hayek plays. Well, anyway, yeah, he's trying to look like the Inca. Yeah, you get it. So you thought to see the Inca hero Tecumotsin. Well, so you have. It is the name they gave to me. Whoops. Oh, well. But to you, I shall always be Ajax, your friend. Ajax, this is a wondrous moment. It seems an age since you left the polar mountains in search of the gods. It was as though time itself had swallowed you from sight.
He's an eternal, like Icarus.
Yeah, no kidding. An eternal who lived among the ancient Incas.
Yep, that's what he did. You found the gods, Ajax, when they appeared to you. When they appeared to the Incas. You were there. Yeah, I was there, Icarus. I came to know the gods. Then, with your help, I can safeguard these human folk. No danger shall ever claim this sweet young thing. Forgive me, Bluebird. I must perform an urgent task. Unit, man your posts, open wide the cosmic door, and initiate the procedure of welcome for the Celestials.
We hasten, sire.
just like the deviants, you make them say, well, maybe he's a better boss, you know.
So that's it. I begin to understand it now.
I think that I do too, Dad.
All conversation ceases as something that is more than a voice echoes everywhere in the room.
When the first of us appears to you, faithful one, look well upon his visage, and know the meaning of our mission.
Whoever that may be, we await with submission, as the crops in the field wait for the planter whose hand did sow them. Welcome, great celestials, and descend among us. Look, he's a DJ. Yeah. Anyway, Ajax turns to his unit. Yeah, you know, and barks the orders that would bring the gods to earth. Prepare to raise the ceremonial pylons beneath the celestial spacecraft. Even now, the first of the gods descends. Yeah, see, this is a microphone and everything. On the great field outside, a huge pylon rises from the ground. A pillar of blazing energy leaps from its top, and within that bright flame, the first signs of the celestial are seen. His feet. Dun, dun, dun. And there he is with, I don't know, a Mr. Coffee for a head. It's just the designs Kirby did for this list is always rather bizarre. But anyway, oh, it's Arsham. Yeah, that's the celestial that was in the movie. Yeah. Looks a little different, but still, they're both red. So they got that right. At least something, huh? Anyway, leader of the fourth host lands firmly upon the pylon. He will stand upon it for 50 Earth years. Oh, well, no rush. No, nothing. Got a while to think about this. Towering like the surrounding mountains above all life below. And on the last day of the 50th year, he will step from the pylon. And on that day, Earth will live or die. Don't stop shaking yet, fans. There's lots more shaking to be done. Watch for The Devil in New York in our next nerve-shattering issue. So there you have it. The Celestial, well, one of them anyway, came back to Earth, and it's going to sit there and stare at it for 50 years and decide whether or not to destroy it all. How about that, huh? Well, we'll have to find out where this goes next week in another exciting episode of Mr. Nailsin Sunday Comics. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah. And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr. Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness, so many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.